Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday to you. Hope everybody's having a great day today. This is a sort of an unscheduled live lesson. Welcome back to my channel, by the way. First of all, welcome to today's live lesson. I usually do lessons on Thursday evenings, but yesterday I was quite busy and exhausted. So I decided to not do it yesterday, but I've moved it to today. So hopefully everybody is okay with that. And hopefully we get some, some new people. I don't usually do a live on Fridays. So if we get some new people joining as well, that's great. Hopefully this lesson will help all of you. As always, I'll be putting the lesson on the screen. Today we're going to be looking at would rather. The concept of using would rather is not so difficult. It's not so difficult, but we're going to try to make it a little bit more complicated because we're going to use would rather, plus we're going to try to give reasons as well. So what we'll do is we'll go over the grammar a little bit. And once we're done with the grammar, we will get into the main part of the lesson, which is the speaking part of the lesson. If you've watched any of my live lessons before, what I always like to do is I like to do kind of situational training. And what that means is that after we go over how to use would rather, how to give our reasons, I'm going to give you many scenarios. These are going to be a sort of real world, real life scenarios. And in that scenario, you are going to read it. You're going to try to understand what's going on in the scenario. And then you're going to use the grammar that we learned in the lesson. Today is would rather. So we're going to make would rather plus reasons. We're going to make these sentences that match each scenario. So the reason I do this, because when you enter the real world, you are going to face these scenarios. So these scenarios will help you to learn what to say, when to say it. I've always believed that's the best way to improve your English. It's not just by reading a dictionary and memorizing vocabulary, but it's about learning how to speak in the different situations that we find ourselves in. So as always, I will be putting the lesson on the screen. I'm going to do that right now. Let's share the screen. And there we go. It should be on the screen right now. Good. Let me just move a couple of these lessons over here as well. I've got a second computer right here trying to work everything out. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to I've been trying to get another computer going so I can actually see what the lesson looks like on a YouTube channel. So I've got a YouTube channel open right here just to see what it's like. So hopefully that works. So far it looks okay, I think. If it's tough for you to see the lesson, just let me know and I'll either zoom in, zoom out, or try to adjust the screen. So in the meantime, let's get started. We've got would rather. And basically, when we're using would rather, we're talking about our preferences, right? So we're talking about either a general preference or we're talking about a specific preference, okay? A preference means something that you like. And a lot of times we use a preference or the word prefer if we're talking about something that you like more, right? So if you like something more, we like to use prefer. Or in this situation, we could use would rather. Now, I always like to say would rather. There is another phrase you could use, and I'm going to put that onto the screen right now. I could say would prefer. Right? This is also okay. The reason why I like to use would rather instead is because would rather can be used when we're talking about our general preferences, but Also, would rather can be used for specific preferences. And would prefer, we can't do that. Would prefer is only for general preferences. Now, general preferences means that it's just, a general like or dislike. So I would prefer vanilla ice cream to strawberry ice cream. That's just my general like and dislike. Maybe there's some specific situation where maybe it's different. For instance, let's say that I've been eating a lot of vanilla ice cream. That's all I've had. And so now I see strawberry ice cream. So maybe in that specific situation, that one point, I would rather have the strawberry ice cream. Right? In that one point. Generally, I like vanilla. But in a specific point, I can use would rather. So would rather we can use in both situations. So that's why I like to use that. I don't want to use would prefer. Would prefer is fine, but I think you can. Would rather has more range than would prefer. So how do we make the sentence basically right there? There's our pattern right there. Our pattern is going to be would rather followed by a verb. And then if you want to compare two things, then we're going to use than. This word is going to be very important. Okay, so we've got would rather. I need a verb, regular verb, no ing here, regular verb. And then I'm going to put than, and then the second verb. All right, so for example, I've got here, I would rather go to Europe than go to Africa. I would rather go to Europe than go to Africa. All right, that's just my preference. All right, and then let's see if we've got music and TV. Now, if I wanted to make a sentence with music or TV, generally or even specifically, I would rather watch TV than listen to music. I would rather watch TV than listen to music. All right, so in this situation, we're comparing the two things. We're talking about TV and music. For me, I'm a TV person. I like music, but for me, music is more something I'll do in my car. But generally, I would rather watch TV. I'm a TV guy. I like TV. All right, so that's what we're going to be. We're going to be making sentences today. And what I'm going to do is I'll give you two options. For example, music and TV. Then you make a sentence. Right? But that's not it. We also want to give reasons. So let's look at the next page here. And if you read the community post I put in today's lesson, we are going to be focusing on three ways to give reasons. And I've got them on the screen right now. So basically, today's sentences are going to follow one of these three patterns. All right, so you're going to make a sentence. I would rather, then a verb. Okay, regular verb. So this beginning part is the same for all three. I would rather, and then a verb. Then talk about your preference here. Then we want reason. Okay, first way to give a reason is you're going to use because. Because. And we can, after because, we'll use a subject and a verb. Okay. Second way to give the reason, we're going to be using in order to. In order to, and then a verb. Okay. So there's no subject here. So just straight to the verb. And last way we give the reason is we're going to use so that. We've got subject and verb. Okay, so only in order to is going to go just with a verb. Okay, so make sure you remember that. Now, let's look at three example sentences. First, let's look at because right here. And it says, I would rather stay home tonight because I need some rest. I would rather stay home tonight because I need some rest. Let's make this a little bit bigger here so it fits in. I would rather stay home tonight because I need some rest. Okay, that doesn't fit the screen. I'm glad I've got this, my one. There we go. I think that fits perfectly. Okay, so I would rather stay home tonight because I need rest. Now, let's look at the next one where we use in order to. She would rather take the early train in order to avoid the morning rush. She would rather take the early train in order to avoid the morning rush. Yeah, that's a good choice. And last one, so that. They would rather work overtime this week so that they can take a longer vacation next month. They would rather work overtime this week so they can take a longer vacation next month. All right, so we've got 3 example sentences right there. All right, now one thing I want to do is I'm just going to put a little star right here. Oh, it changed. It's no longer a star. I want a star. There we go. I'm going to put it right at that point. A lot of times when we are using the phrase or the words so that can introduce a reason. A lot of times we are going to be using the can verb. The can verb. All right, so it's very common to use can when we use so that. You know, I go to the gym so that I can be healthy. Right? So that I can be healthy. You don't always have to use can, but it's very commonly used. So that's why I'm putting that star there. So just kind of remember, we do like to use can a lot when we use so that. So in today's lesson, it's your choice. You can use because, you can use in order to, or you can use so that. I would recommend using all of them. This is the best way to improve your English, by practicing all 3. Okay, so let's get to the main part of the lesson. The main part of the lesson is our scenarios. Like I said in the introduction, I think that one of the best ways to improve English, your natural English and the ability to speak quickly and fluently, is by practicing this type of training. So today we've got our first situation. The first situation says it's Saturday evening and you're deciding how to spend your time. You have options here. First option is stay in and watch a movie. Second option is go out with friends. Which one will you choose? All right, so for me, number one and 2, I've made it a little bit easy because I'm going to make this bigger so it's easier to see on the screen. That looks good. I've made it a little bit easy because I've given you the verbs. I've given stay in and watch a movie, go out with friends. I've given you these verbs. From number 3, I've omitted most of the verbs, so you have to think of the verb to use. All right, so for me, let's say right now it's, for me it's Friday night. It's like 11:30 p.m. And at this point, I would rather stay in and watch a movie because I have to work early next morning. All right, so I've given you what I would rather, my preference, plus I've given you the reason why. I'd rather stay in and watch a movie because I have to work early next morning. All right, so that's what you're going to do. Choose one of the options and then give me the reason why you chose that option. All right, so let's look at number 2. Number 2 says, you're planning a weekend getaway. You're planning a weekend getaway, and you must choose a location. Option A, visit a bustling city. Option B, relax at a quiet beach. Relax at a quiet beach. All right, so first of all, let's look at some of the vocabulary. I like this, getaway. A getaway means vacation. Okay, this means vacation, a weekend vacation, a weekend holiday. Okay, getaway means you're trying to get away from your city where you live. You know, get away from your daily life, which is work or school. All right, so you're planning a weekend vacation, a weekend getaway. You must choose a location. You got visit a bustling city or relax at a quiet beach. What will you choose? For me, it's tough. Depends on how I feel, but generally, generally, I'm the type of person who always likes to choose a beach. I'm a beach person. I do like cities. I do like the atmosphere, the excitement of a city. But for me, I would probably say I'm more of a beach person. So let's put that here. I would rather relax at a quiet beach because I need to unwind. Okay, another great vocabulary word right here, unwind. So let's look at this. What does unwind mean? It means to relax. Okay, unwind means relax. So I would rather relax at a quiet beach because I need to unwind. Now, if I want to, let's change this. I'm gonna not use because. In order to unwind, I would rather relax at a quiet beach in order to unwind. Okay. Now, if I wanted to use so that, I would rather relax at a quiet beach so that I can unwind. All right. So there are 3 different ways to give your reasons. All right. So make sure you're trying to use all of them. That way, you know, you will improve. You don't want to just have one way of speaking. Does that make sense to everyone? Hopefully that makes sense. So let's keep moving then. Let's get this off the screen. Unwind is relax. It's a great option. All right, so number 3 is on the screen now. Yes, number 3 is perfectly on the screen. And number 3 says, you have some free time after work and you're thinking about what to do. You have some free time after work and you're thinking about what to do. You've got options. You've got the gym and you've got coffee with a friend. All right, so you got free time after work and you're thinking about what to do. The 2 options you have available to you are gym and coffee with a friend. All right, so what will you choose here? What will you choose here? For me, okay, and remember, I haven't put, there's no verbs here. Okay, there's no verbs here. So what I would choose is I would rather grab a coffee with a friend in order to catch up. I would rather grab a coffee with a friend in order to catch up. Okay, so this is a great phrase here. First, grab a coffee. Grab a coffee is a great, great phrase. It means to buy a coffee, go and get a coffee. Okay, we can use the word grab here. Grab has a different meaning. Grab means you're gonna I'm gonna grab something. You're gonna use your hands to hold and take. It's kind of like grab. But in this situation, grab means buy. Go and buy a coffee. And then we've got catch up. Catch up. Catch up means, maybe my friend and I, we haven't met for some time. So my life and maybe his life, we've gone in different paths, but I don't know what my friend has been doing. My friend doesn't know what I have been doing. So we're going to kind of update each other, right? So to update each other on what we've been doing in our lives, that's what we call catch up. All right. That's what we call catch up. The literal meaning of catch up means if I'm behind, if I'm running a race, okay, so I'm running a race, but there's someone in the lead, someone is leading, someone is ahead of me, right? I want to be in the same position as that person. That's to catch up, right? That's the literal meaning. But in this meaning, it has a similar meaning. So my life, I'm here. But or my friend's life is here. Current life is here. Last time I met was here. So there's a lot of information I don't know. So I'm trying to, be in the same position, which is catch up. All right. So I used grab a coffee. I would rather get a coffee. I would rather go to a cafe. Many different options here. If you have a different answer than mine, and of course, your reason will be different. Most of your reasons for everyone will be different, which is great. That means in order for you to understand, or in order for you to know if your sentence is correct, you have to leave your answer in the comment section. And we're going to do a lot of phrases. We're going to do a lot of scenarios. If you want to put every answer in the comment section, that is fine. I'll check all of them. All right, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 says, you are choosing between 2 job offers. You're choosing between 2 job offers. Job offer number 1, job offer A, high-paying job with long hours. B, lower-paying job with a better work-life balance. Okay. High-paying job, long hours. That means you're going to work very, very late. You're going to work many, many hours. Lower paying job, not low, but lower paying job with better work-life balance. So what would you choose? What would you choose in this situation? This is a tough one. I think this is a really tough one. Maybe for me, I think probably the better work-life balance is something I would choose. So I would rather a lower paying job with a better work-life balance so that I could spend time with my family and friends. All right, so here I've used so that. And instead of using can, I use could. All right, excellent. So let's keep moving. Remember, if you have any questions about vocabulary, just let me know in the comment section. Number 5, you're deciding how to spend your vacation. You got a new country, you got home. There are no verbs here, so you have to figure out what verb you're going to use. For me, if I'm going to go on vacation, it's always going to be option A. So my sentence would be, I would rather travel abroad because I love experiencing new cultures. I would rather travel abroad because I love experiencing new cultures. All right, so in this situation, my reason, I introduced it with because. Then because plus subject plus verb. I would rather travel abroad because I love experiencing new cultures. All right, so the option A was new country. So what I did was I just changed the words. I used travel abroad. Okay, let's go on to number 6. You have an afternoon free and you're thinking about how to spend it. You've got book and you've got a nap. Book and nap. All right, again, no verbs here. There are no verbs here. So what are your answers? Honestly, for me, I would choose A, book, but I'm going to choose B because I want to make a sentence here. I would rather take a nap in order to catch up on some sleep. Okay, so here again, I've used the verb catch up. All right, I've used this verb catch up. Okay, again, here, that means my sleep is behind. That means I'm not getting enough sleep. I need more sleep. You know, doctors say you should sleep, 6 or 7 or 8 hours a day. Maybe yesterday I only slept 2 hours. So I've lost like 4 or 5, 6 hours. I'm trying to regain those hours. So we say catch up on some sleep. Okay. Great phrase to remember, catch up on sleep. That's a great phrase to remember. Please remember that phrase. Catch up on some sleep. Okay, let's keep moving. Or, if you chose the other one, I would rather read a book because I bought a new one last month and I still haven't read a page. Okay, so there's 2 options here. Here's the second one. If you're talking about a book, I would rather read a book because I bought a new one last month and I still haven't read a page. This is actually true. I did buy a book and I haven't read it. I have read 1 page, I think, but definitely not enough. Okay, let's move on to number 7. Okay, so number 7 just fits on the screen perfectly here. Okay, you're at a restaurant and you must choose between 2 desserts. You're at a restaurant, you must choose between 2 desserts. Option A is a chocolate cake. Option B is a fruit salad. All right, this one for me is easy, super, super easy. I would rather order the chocolate cake because, let's make this, there we go. Let's get it onto the screen. There we go. Okay, little cheeky answer. I would rather order the chocolate cake because there's no other option than a chocolate cake in my mind. So basically what this is saying that in my mind, if there's dessert, it can only be a chocolate cake. That means I think chocolate cake is the only or the best dessert. And I couldn't even consider any other thing, especially a fruit salad. All right, so I would rather order the chocolate cake because there's no other option than a chocolate cake in my mind. Okay. I would rather order the fruit salad so that I can try to be a little healthy. All right, so again, there's both options. It's what you prefer. It's what you like more. And then the reason I used here, because. All right, let's look at number 8. You need to choose a form of exercise. You need to choose a form of exercise. Jogging in the park or doing yoga at home. Jogging in the park or doing yoga at home. Fighting Warriors, hey, how are you today? No problem. You're not late. That's okay. When you come, you're right on time. What we're doing is we are, and I should have made a banner here, and I'm going to put a banner. We're going to be using would rather this is what we're doing today, Fighting Warriors. We're doing would rather plus a reason. Would rather plus a reason. Now we have 3 different ways to give the reason. Right, so when you're giving the reason, you can choose either because, you could choose in order to, or you can choose so that. Okay, those are the 3 ways to give your reasons. You choose whichever one you want to use. So you need to choose a form of exercise, jogging in the park, or doing yoga at home. For me, I would rather do yoga at home so that I can avoid the crazy humidity outside. I would rather do yoga at home so that I can avoid the crazy humidity outside. Hey, Nancy, how are you today? So Nancy, what we're doing is we're making sentences using would rather. So you're going to choose would rather plus choose one of the options, and then give the reason why. And the reasons we can use because, in order to, or so that. For me, I would rather do yoga at home so that I can avoid the crazy humidity outside. It's so humid here. So running outside would just be, I would melt. Fighting Bears, I would rather jog all day long because I've put weight too much. I've put on weight. Put on weight. Don't forget the on. Me too, Fighting Bears. Me too. But it's all this, online work, remote work. But great answer. I would rather jog all day long because no long. So get rid of the A. Just all day long. And Caleb, hey, how are you, buddy? I would rather work out at home so I don't have to pay the monthly fee. Yeah, perfect. Excellent, Fighting Boys. Nice. Okay, let's look at number 9. You're planning your evening and you're considering two activities: dinner at home, takeout. Dinner at home or takeout. For me, if it's today, I would rather Uber something because I have zero energy to cook. I would rather Uber something because I have zero energy to cook. Now here, I've put the word Uber. Uber obviously is a famous taxi company or delivery company for food delivery company. I lost my train of thought there. But Uber has become so famous that they've now become a verb. When something becomes really, really famous, we can use it as a verb or a noun, right? Let's say, we Google things. Google has now a verb. Okay. You Uber, I'm going to Uber something. These are both examples of the company's name becoming a verb. Things like this, and things like this. This right here, the real name of this is called tissue. But in Canada and America, the most famous company is Kleenex. So we would say Kleenex. Can you pass me a Kleenex? Right. So Kleenex has become the name of that noun. In fact, today I did Uber something. I didn't cook at all. I Ubered. All right, let's move on to number 10. But before we do that, let's look at Nancy's answer. I would rather have dinner at home so that I know what ingredients are going into my food. I would rather have dinner at home so that I know what ingredients are going into my food. That is a great point, Nancy. That's a great point. It's a great sentence. Just don't forget the in, but that's a really great point. When you cook at home, you know exactly what's going in there. Whereas whenever you order something, you have little to zero idea what they're putting in there. That is a very good point. All right, good sentence, Nancy. All right, what about number 10? You're deciding on how to spend your day off. Hiking in the mountains, museum in the city. Hiking in the mountains, museum in the city. For me, this is also a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. For me, this is a no-brainer. A no-brainer means that I don't even need to think about this. It's a very easy answer. So something is a very easy answer. You don't need to think about it. Before you answer, you can say, "Oh, this is a no-brainer." And for me, that's what I would say. This is a no-brainer. I would rather go hiking in the mountains in order to get out of the city. I would rather go hiking in the mountains in order to get out of the city. I would rather go hiking in the mountains so that I can enjoy nature. Perfect. So you use so that, you use the verb can, which is the most common one to use with so that. Excellent. Good job, Nancy. I went hiking 3 weeks ago. I went hiking. it was nice. It was nice to get out of the city, especially, you know, living in Tokyo. There's just too many people here. You know, Tokyo, like the sort of the city of Tokyo, the city center, which is kind of like a few different areas all put together. It's probably got like 30 million people here in like metropolitan Tokyo. It's just crazy. Fighting boards. I would rather hike up the mountain in order to clear my mind from all the junky thoughts clicking into my mind. Okay, almost there. I like the ideas. I would rather hike up the mountain in order to clear my mind. No S. I think that's just a typo. From all of the junky thoughts. I understand it. Junky thoughts clicking around in there, because you've already said my mind, you don't want to say it again. Clicking around in there. Yeah. Hiking is definitely a great way to decompress. It's to, you know, you don't think about your stress. All right, good sentence. Just don't say mind 2 times. Clicking is just the sound clicking, right? It's that click, 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 like a clock, click, click, or tick, 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 tick. Same sort of meaning. But instead of clicking, I would say running. A lot of times when we're talking about mind and your thoughts are running around in your mind. Thoughts are running around your mind. So something like that, I would say. I have so many thoughts running around my mind. So here we would say thoughts actually have legs. So these little thoughts are running around your mind, usually stress. Okay, let's look at number 11. Number 11 says, you have an important deadline tomorrow, but you have been invited to a networking event this evening. You have an important deadline tomorrow, but you haven't been invited to a networking event this evening. Your options: A, home plus finish, probably something to, you know, something in regards to that deadline. B is networking event, new connections. What would you choose here? Myself, I would rather go to the event because I could always finish my work in the morning, and making new connections could lead to new work. All right, so that would have been my answer. Kind of a longer answer there. I'd rather go to the event because I could always finish my work in the morning, and making new connections could lead to new work. New work means more money. All right, so if anybody else has a different answer or a different reason, put it in the comment section. And while you're typing, I will scroll up to number 12. So anybody who doesn't want to do number 11 and wants to skip ahead, number 12 is right there on the screen for you. But Fighting Borders has an answer here. I would rather partake in a social event so that I can establish connections to share my thoughts about the new project. Okay, perfect. I would rather partake in here it would be the social event, not a. I would rather partake in the social event so that I can establish connections to share my thoughts about the new project. Perfect. Perfect. Just a couple of small little things to fix, but overall, the thoughts, the sentence, the vocabulary, all of it is great. Yeah, I kind of know when there's typos. Don't worry. I know everybody's trying to type quickly as well. Sorry, I have like so little patience moving ahead, but take your time. Everybody take your time and don't worry about typos. I would rather stay home and finish my work because I like my sleep. I know that's going to be like, not live. I know it's a typo, so don't worry. Yeah, sleep is pretty cool. Sleep is pretty cool. I do like my sleep as well. All right. And number 12 is on the screen as well. Anybody who wants to look, the scenario is you're considering how to spend a significant amount of money you've saved. Significant amount means a lot. A lot. Significant amount equals a lot. It's a great word to remember. Please remember that if you ever want to say a lot, start using significant amount. All right, so you have two options: stock market or something around the world. What would you choose? You've saved a lot of money. Now you're thinking about how to spend it. A, stock market. B, something around the world. What would you choose? Myself, what would I choose? Probably around the world. Around the world. That's what I would choose. Maybe so I would rather travel around the world so that let's use because I only have one life to live. So I would rather travel around the world because I only have one life to live. All right, Nancy, I would rather travel around the world because I will have memories from it. From it. Not of it, but from it. Excellent. Fighting Words, I would rather invest all of my liquid crypto world business in order to make a lot of profit. Invest in. I would rather invest in liquid crypto in order to make a lot of profit. Is liquid crypto world business the name of the crypto? If not, I would just say crypto. So, for example, invest. We're always going to say invest in. So here's an example of the invest sentence. So I would rather invest in the stock market because it's a long-term strategy for financial growth. Yeah, so liquid on crypto, if that's the name of the crypto, yeah, then All right, so we've got different answers. Everyone has different preferences. Okay, let's move up to number 13. You need to choose a method to improve your professional skills. Online course, in-person workshops and seminars. All right, so you need to choose a method to improve your professional skills. How are you going to improve your professional skills? You have two options. Option A, online course. Option B, in-person workshops and seminars. So using would rather plus a reason, and then reason you can use because, in order to, or so that. For me, I would rather take an online course so that I could take the class anywhere, anytime. I would rather take an online course so that I could take the class anywhere, anytime. All right, so Nancy, I would rather do in-person workshops so that I can have that one-on-one, so I can have that one-on-one experience. Don't forget the word experience there, Nancy. Fighting Wars, I would rather take a workshop and seminar so that I can get a sense of what I'm going to do in real life. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. All right, now let's look at number 14. You have a chance to move abroad for work, but you need to leave behind your current lifestyle. All right, you have a chance to move abroad for work, but you need to leave behind your current lifestyle. A, options, current city where you have established a life. Or B, abroad for new experiences and opportunities. Oh, I didn't even notice you put 2 dashes there, Fighting Words. Nice. Great. All right, well, what would you guys choose here? Myself, I'm the type of person who's always on the move. So I would do that. I would rather move abroad because I want to embrace new experiences and expand my horizons. So I would rather move abroad because I want to embrace new experiences and expand my horizons. Okay, so while you guys think of that, I'll put number 15 on. Number 15 says you're planning your meals for the week, and you must choose between 2 approaches. Okay, while you think of number 15, let's look at Fighting Bear's answer for number 14. I would rather go abroad because I'm a kind of person who doesn't like to pass up any opportunities. I would rather go abroad because I'm the kind of person. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to pass up any opportunities. And Caleb, I would rather go abroad so as to get new experiences. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent, Fighter Bros. Nice. And just don't forget that as well. I'm that kind of person. I'm that kind of person. And then number 15 says you're planning your meals for the week and you must choose 2 approaches. Option A is meal prep the whole week, or B, fresh meals every day. All right, so if you're wondering what meal prep means, it means you're getting all of your meals ready for the whole week. You're getting all of your meals ready for the whole week. So you're doing all of the preparing for all of the meals. So there's very little for you to do on that day. It's become very, very popular. A lot of people, like especially in the US, people love to do meal prep now. So they'll prep a whole week. And so they just come home and you got Mondays, food is ready, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. And then usually there might be a little bit of cooking involved, but basically all the preparation is done. Okay. But option B, it's fresh meals. That means you do everything, you cook everything on that day. Vegetables are bought on that day. I'm gonna for me, option B, all day, every day. I'm option B type of person. I love fresh meals, but I'm gonna just put option A here, just to get some new vocabulary. I'd rather meal prep all my meals because it saves time during the busy work week. Okay. So here, meal prep is actually the verb, Caleb. So I would rather meal prep so as to, don't forget to, reduce stress. Yeah, meal prepping will reduce stress. You know exactly, everything's done. There's no thinking. All right, so while people are thinking for number 15, I'll put number 16 onto the screen. Fiber is nice. I'd go for fresh and healthy meals every day in order to guarantee my general health. Perfect sentence. Perfect sentence. Yes. Fresh and healthy. It's the way to go. But meal prep doesn't have to be unhealthy. Meal prep is also can be very, very healthy. All right, number 16 says you're choosing a form of exercise to focus on for the next few months. You have option A, which is marathon, option B, which is weightlifting. For me, I would rather weightlift. All right. I would rather weightlift because I wouldn't want to die by trying to run a marathon. I would rather weightlift because I wouldn't want to die by trying to run a marathon. Caleb, I would go with weightlifting because you have to lift weight and it's done. Okay. So here, I would just add a little bit here, Caleb. I would go with weightlifting because all you have to do is lift weights and you're done. Okay, all you have to do would be make that sentence even better. Yeah, great sentence, Caleb. Good job. Yeah, me too. Weightlifting is a way to go for me. I cannot do a marathon. I can run if there is a sport. If I'm playing soccer or football, I can run the whole game. Tennis, I can run hours. But just running for a marathon, no thanks. Nancy, I would rather do weights so I can build muscle. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So while others are thinking about that one, if you're done, you can move on to number 17. Number 17 says you have the opportunity to take a sabbatical from work. The options are travel the world, be a personal project. Fighters, number 16, I would rather do a marathon or run a marathon. Don't forget your verb. I would rather run a marathon in order to challenge myself. Yes. Yes. I've said that before. I've said that before, but I don't know. I wonder if I could do it. Do a marathon. Good. Perfect. I think I could probably do it. I wouldn't be happy though. You have the opportunity to take a sabbatical from work. Okay, sabbatical. Does anybody know what sabbatical means? Okay. Sabbatical basically means that you're allowed to take time off from work, but it's paid time. It's, you're off from work and you get paid. Right? You're not just taking a holiday. It's paid time. And generally a sabbatical can be from 1 year and above. Yeah, usually I think it's like 1 year. A lot of people take a sabbatical for 1 year. And a lot of times sabbatical is used when we're talking about professors, university professors. So they're going to take a paid time off, like 1 year. So if you could get like 1 year off and it's paid, you get your salary. What do you choose? Travel the world or personal project? So for myself, I would choose travel the world because it's a golden opportunity. But just to put something different, let's try this. There we go. It's hard to fit everything in here, but I would rather use the time to work on a personal project because it's a rare opportunity to focus on something meaningful to me. Caleb, I would rather travel the world because it's relaxing and I would meet new people. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Good sentence, Caleb. I would choose that too. For me, I would probably travel the world. It's just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. I would rather travel the world because it is a unique experience to recharge and explore new places. Perfect. Perfect sentences. Jocelyn. Hello, Jocelyn. I would rather take a trip around the world. I would rather take a trip around the world to taste new food. Perfect. So here, not take. If you're going to use take, it's take a trip. But you could just use travel as the verb. I would rather travel the world to taste new food. Okay, so if you use take, it's take a trip. No, not travel. But you could just use travel as your verb. And that's a great answer. Eating food from around the world, that sounds amazing. All right. What about number 18? You're deciding between two approaches to reduce stress. So you've got a lot of stress, right? Everybody's got stress. You've got some stress right now, and you're trying to figure out, I'm trying to get rid of my stress. You have two options. One's meditation. B is regular short breaks during the day. Okay, A is meditation. B is regular short breaks during the day. Those are two options. What would you choose? Myself, probably meditation. I would rather meditate because I heard it provides mental clarity. Okay, so I've given a kind of a difficult sentence here. I would rather meditate. So meditate is a verb, right? So I would rather meditate because I heard it provides mental clarity. So I heard, and I could say actually, if I'm going to make it perfect grammar, I should fix that. I've heard. I would rather meditate because I've heard it provides, it gives people mental clarity. It means your mind, your thinking becomes very clear. The problem is I don't think I know how to meditate. I would need like a teacher or something. And if you have a third option that I haven't put here, feel free to put that option. You can say, I would rather do neither of those. I would rather, go sing karaoke. I would rather do no meditation, just meditation. Meditation is uncountable. I would rather do meditation so that I could keep my mind off my problems for a while. Not would, but could. I would rather do meditation so that I could keep my mind off my problems for a while. Perfect. Perfect. All right. And anybody else wants to answer? I'm going to move to 19, but anybody who's still typing away or thinking, don't worry. Leave your answer. I'll go back to it and check it. Perfect categories. Meditation and could. Excellent. Okay, so anybody who's still working on 18, that's okay. Take your time. Put the answer down. Anybody who's moved on, number 19 is on the screen for you now. You're planning a special evening and must choose the setting. Romantic dinner at a luxury restaurant, a cozy dinner at home with a personal touch. Jocelyn, I would rather meditate at night from bed and have a good sleep. Perfect. Good sentence. Perfect. I'd rather meditate at night from bed and have a good sleep. Excellent. Great job, Jocelyn. No corrections needed there. For me here, simple answer. You have two options for this special evening. Right? For me, I'd rather go out. Because, I could always stay in. Going out to a luxury restaurant is a treat. It's something special. Sure, a cozy dinner at home is special, but you could probably do that anytime you wanted. But that's just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. So if you feel differently, please share it with me. All right. And while you're thinking about that, anybody who doesn't want to do number 19, if that's not your cup of tea, I'll put number 20 on the screen for you. 20 is actually the last one we're going to do today. 20 is the last one we'll do today. So make sure you try to answer number 19. Number 20, you're contemplating, means you're thinking about your further education. You've done education, you're contemplating to go further now. But before we finish that, Caleb, I would rather go to a romantic dinner at a luxury restaurant so as to enjoy myself and relax. Yeah, I agree. I think going to a nice luxury dinner is great. Good sentence, Caleb. Perfect. So number 20 says you're contemplating. It means you're thinking about something. If you contemplate, it means you're thinking about different choices. Here you're contemplating your further education. Let's see if I was answer here. I would rather have a candlelight meal in order to savor the moment and take time to think about myself. Okay. Not just yourself. Remember, it's a romantic dinner with someone, I believe. No, it doesn't. It's a special evening. All right. Perfect answer, Friday was perfect. Great sentence by the great grammar as well. Excellent. Good job. So the options for number 20 about further education, yes, funny words, would be either MBA, Masters of Business Administration, or just taking a subject that you're passionate about and it's not related to your career. So what would you do here then? If you're contemplating further education, maybe do an MBA, that'll definitely help your career. Or just doing something, taking a subject, studying something that you're really passionate about, but it's unrelated to your career. What would you guys choose here? I'm a little selfish. Don't forget. No, that's okay. Have dinner by yourself. That's great. I think it's important that we can do that. A lot of people can't do that. All right, it's 20. I would, for me, this one here, I'd rather study something I'm passionate about because I think it would fulfill me more. Yeah, I think it would fulfill me more. Maybe in order to regain a spark. Okay, many different answers, many different reasons why. Remember with the reasons, I've already said here are 3 ways to give them because in order to so that. A lot of you have been using just so. That's a 4th way. That's also great. Miranda, hey, hi Miranda, how are you? I would rather take time and do both of them. Don't forget and do both of them. I would rather take time and do both of them. Okay, yeah, that'll be a lot of time, but and a lot of money. But yeah, if you could, I think that's great. How about everybody else? What would you rather do? And also, right now, if anybody has any questions about today's lesson or about any English sort of topic, feel free to leave that in the comment section as well. Yes, you can say for both of them. That would be okay. So I would rather take time for both of them. I would rather take time and do both of them. Both of those work. So we'll often say a sentence sometimes, Miranda. You know, do you have some time for me? So that is often commonly used like that. So time for, that's something. Time for. All right. I would rather continue my education in a major that I saw the correction already, in a major that I've always been passionate about. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. If you know exactly what your passion is, then that's great. Yeah. You would further your education in that major. Excellent. I would rather continue my education in a major that I've always been passionate about. Excellent. Good job. All right. Anybody have any questions about this or about anything? If you do, feel free so that I could quench my hunger. I love it. I love it. That's great. That's a great phrase. It's a great ending to that sentence. Jocelyn, I would rather take a subject I'm passionate about, because I don't want to, I don't want to do a job. I don't want to do a job. I don't want to work, or I don't want to do something that I don't like. Maybe I don't like. All right. So one more time, I would rather take a subject I'm passionate about because I don't want to do something that I don't like. I would rather take a subject I'm passionate about because I don't want to do something that I don't like. That's a long one, so I'll put that into the chat box here. Okay. There, that's in the chat box, Jocelyn, so you can see the sentence I said. I would rather take a subject I'm passionate about because I don't want to do something I don't like. And finally was almost, not thirsty. Not thirsty. Thirst. Quench my thirst. Okay. Just how here you said quench my hunger. Hunger is a noun. So for thirsty, thirsty is an adjective. We need the noun, quench my thirst. It's a great phrase. It's a really good phrase. All right. Any questions with today's lesson or anything that's in your mind right now? You're very welcome, Jocelyn. You're very, very welcome. And Fighting Boys, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody, if you don't mind, hit the like button for this lesson. I will be doing another live tomorrow as well. And I remember, Miranda, you gave me I think Miranda or Fighting Boys, one of you guys gave me an idea for a lesson. So I'm working on that lesson right now. Okay, well, great job, everybody. Really, really good sentences. Today is a really good sentence for you guys to give different ways to give reasons. There's no one answer, which I like, because it really allows everybody to find different sentences. It's a great way to learn different vocabulary. So great job, Miranda. Yes, it was you. Yes, I remember that. So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm almost done with that lesson. So in the meantime, thank you everybody for joining. I hope you guys liked the lesson. You guys did amazing. I will be doing a live lesson tomorrow, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll be trying to get back on my regular schedule next week. And Fighting Boys, thank you very much as well. I appreciate it. Miranda, thank you as well. You guys all have a great night, great weekend as well. Hopefully the weather is good for you guys wherever you guys are. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys enough. Thank you, Fighting Boys. You don't have to say thanks. It's amazing. I love, talking with you guys. So I appreciate it as well. Thank you. All right, guys, time for me to hit the sack. See you guys all in the next live lesson. See ya.